All right, 6.5, using percent proportions. All right, so this is very similar to yesterday, but the biggest thing you need to know about it, and is it's still going to be using cross multiplication, still going to be setting up something with 100% compared to 100%. But now we need to know that when it says percent proportion, it means take these steps. So percent proportion is one of the numbers, the part, is being compared to the whole quantity. And then your part is the part of the whole, and then the base is the whole quantity, or 100%. So if they give you 6 out of 8 things, so if I have 6 out of 8, 6 would be the part, and the base would be, or 8 would be the base. And you're comparing that as a percent proportion to what percent of 100. So we'll actually say that right here. So percent proportion, I'd have part over base compared to percent over 100. So A is the part, B is the base, and P is the percent. Kind of obvious, but you know. So keeping that in mind, whatever numbers, and then how much of that equals a percent, or is 100% of that. So that last one that we just did, 6 over 8 equals P over 100, you'd cross multiply, which would give me 600 equals 8, and we divide by 8. Should come out to 75%. That doesn't look right, so we're going to ignore the fact that I just said that. Moving on. All right, 20 is what percent of 25? So we know it's less than 100% because it's less than it. So 20 being compared to 25. So 20 is the part and B is the base, and let P represent the percent. So we'd set that up with 20 over 25. So A is going to be 20, B is going to be 25, and P is percent. And that's what we're looking for. From there, we'd cross products. We'd simplify that out. From there, we divide each side by 25, which would come out to 80. So it would be 80% of P is, or 80 equals P. Well, we have to convert that still because 80 by itself is not actually a percent. So we'd have to actually convert that to 80%. So not too much difference, but yeah, so 20 is 80% of 25. All right, 12 is what percent of 40? On your marks, get set, and go. All right, so we do A over B equals percent over 100. It's a terrible P. So 12 is the part, and 40 is the base. So I'd have 12 over 40 equals P over 100. Cross products, 1, 2, 0, 0 equals 40P. Hopefully that didn't confuse you. 100 times 12. And from there, I'm going to divide by 40. And I love these. So that would be 120 divided by 40 equals 30. 30 equals P. So that would be 30%. So your answer is actually going to be a slight sentence, and yes, you do need to write it all out. 12 is 30% of 40. That is the correct answer. Just 30% with a check mark is not going to be enough. What percent of 8 is 12? Example number 2. So 12 is being compared to 8. So 8 is the part, and 12 is the part, and 8 is the base. And because 12 is bigger than 8, that means the percentage is going to be over 100%. And that's okay. So we replace A with 12, B with 8. A with 12, B with 8. We cross products. We simplify that. We're going to divide both sides by 8. And from there it comes out to 150. So 12 is 150% of, or 50% of 8 is 12. So they did kind of switch those around in that wording. Both are correct, but I do need that whole thing, all 3 numbers. And your turn, go. All right, so what part of 20 is 35? So my base is 20, my part is 35. So I'd have 20 over 35 equals P over 100, cross multiply, cross products, 2000 equals 35P, divide by 35. That comes out to 57. Wait. I feel like I did that wrong. Yep, I flipped them. Let's try that again, shall we? Let's grab out the eraser. All right, let's try that again. So that would be 35 over 20, I cut, equals P and 100. Be 3500 equals 20P. Divide by 20, divide by 20. 3500 divided by 20 is 175. So my answer is 175% of 20 is 35. There we go. All right, from the years of this to this, Steffi Graf won the U.S. Open Tennis Championship 5 times and Wimbledon 7 times. Those are like the major championships, if you don't know what those are. What percent of both tournaments combined during those years did Steffi Graf win the women's competition? So we're going to compare Steffi Graf's wins, which is a total of 12 of 5 and 7. And the total of number of tournaments played would be 18, because that'd be 2 tournaments per year for 9 years. And so we're going to let 12 be the part and 18 be the base and come up with a percent proportion. So that'd be 12 over 18 because she won 12 out of 18 tournaments. We're going to cross product that and we'll simplify and we'll divide by 18. And it comes out to 67% or 66.7%. So that means she won about 66.7% of the tournaments. Be 2/3 of the time. Yikes. And your turn. Go. All right. At the school bake sale, 23 chocolate cookies, 18 oatmeal raisins, 7 peanut butter were sold. If the sale started with a total of 90 cookies, what percent of the cookies were sold? All right. Well, first we got to add them all together. So 23 plus 18 plus 7 comes out to 48. So I have 48 total, and there were 90 cookies sold. So I just added the 3, 23 plus 18 plus 7 equals 48, and that's going to equal P over 100. So we cross products. 4,800 equals 90P. I'm going to divide by 90. Divide by 90. 4,800 divided by 90 equals, I got 53. Yep, 53.3 cookies. All right, so here's a couple other types of proportion or percent problems you might see. So it'll say find the percent, and that's the one we've done so far, where the only thing they give us is P. We might have to find the part. So what number is 75% of 40? So we get 75% of this. The of would be the base. 3 is 75% of what number? So it looks like, at least in the sentences they are giving us, of something is the base. And the first number is our part. Hopefully that holds true, because the same thing here. Base, base. It's all about that base, about that base. Sorry, couldn't resist myself. All right, what number is 8% of 20? Okay, so we had of is the base. What number is the part? See what they say, probably the same thing. Percent is 8.8, the base is 20, let A be the part. So we put those into our little formula of the day. A over B equals P over 100. Insert those in. Then we play cross products, and we multiply them out, and we divide both sides by 100, and it comes out to 1.76 is 8.8% of 20. On your mark, go. All right, so my base is 90. This is my part, and this is my percent. So we'll set it all up. Base of 90, and part, we're going to call it A because that's what they told us to do, 42.5 over 100. So we cross products would give me 100A equals, punch these into my calculator, 42.5 times 90 comes out to 3825. Divide by 100, divide by 100, which is really just move the decimal place over 2 spots. 38.25 is what I get. So your answer is 42% of 90 is 38.25. Oh boy, keeping going. Kington Middle School has 600 students. They were asked their family to recycle newspapers. 30% said they recycled both, cans and or newspapers. 32% said they did both. 25% said cans, and 19% said they only did the newspapers. 24% said they did not recycle. How many families recycle both cans and newspapers? So they gave us a little more information than we needed. So how many families use both? So we have a total of 600 students. How many do both? 32% say they do both. So this looks like it's my base because that's how many that's the total amount, and we need to find the part. Okay, so we set that up with base being 600, 32 is the percent. So to find 32%, we have to let B be the base of 600, P be the percent, and 32 be, and A be the part. So we put those in. So 600 for the base, 32 for the percent. We cross products. We simplify again. And then we mentally divide both sides by 100, just move the decimal place over 2. And that comes out to 192. So 192 families would be the answer that do both cans and newspapers. Your turn, go. All right, so a survey says 500 teenagers found 38% prefer soft drinks with, whereas other ones prefer water, 15 prefer milk. How many teenagers preferred milk with their dinner? Okay, so here's my base. They want how many prefer milk, so I find the one that says prefer milk. Prefer milk is my percent, and I need to find the part. So we set that all up. I have my base of 500. I need to find the part, and I have 15 over 100. We cross products, and 15 times 500 is 75,000. And we did monthly, just move that over 2, so 75 equals A. So that means 75 out of 500 families prefer milk, or teenagers, sorry. Last problems. 70 is 20% of what number? So the percent is 28, obviously there's a percent symbol, and this time we have the part, so let B represent the base. So we set that up with the part being on top and the base being here. Remember, say of is kind of the key of if this is the base. So we cross products again, we simplify, and then we divide both sides by 28. When we punch those into our calculators, we come up with 250 equals B. So that's not quite the answer. So 70 is 28% of 250. All right, 90 is 24% of what number? Go. All right, so 25 is my percent. Base is here, part is here. So I put 90 over whatever number, we don't know. So base equals 24 over 100. We cross products. 9000 equals 24b. It's a horrible 0. Divide by 24. Divide by 24. Let's try that again on my calculator. 375 equals b. So 90 is 24% of 375. Whoops. If I write the correct numbers. Moving on. And we're done.